And welcome back to my channel. Unless you're new here, and then just welcome. My name is Rusty, and this is my channel where I talk about my favorite movies, or at least movies that I like well enough to have in my collection, mostly horror. And we are going to do my little mini shark fest, water horror. I've got 3 shark movies and a fish movie. 2 things. One, there is a serious drought of shark movies in the last few years. What few have come out, half of them don't even get physical releases. They're on some streaming service somewhere, and of those that do, they have not gotten very much praise. My kind of shark movies is, Jaws and Bait and Shark Night and Shark Bait and Deep Blue Sea and stuff like that. And all of these subgenres seem to come in little waves, and right now there is a serious drought. So I've been desperate for some new shark movies, and I had to choose from what there was available on physical and those that I like enough to have in my collection. And so we are going to start with the Reef, Stalked. Now, the original Reef is one of the best shark movies ever. And then we have this. So the Reef was released in 2022. It was written and directed by Andrew Traucki. It stars Teressa Liane and Truong and Saskia Archer. So, yeah. Now, there's a second thing I have to tell you. Everyone has their Achilles heel where subgenres are concerned. Mine is shark movies or water horror. I'm pretty sure I know the reason why, but I am absolutely horrifically terrified, and I absolutely hate the ocean. I don't mind going on a boat, but don't ask me to get in. It started when I was 14. I never had the problem as a kid. I'm on the beach. I'm on the beach right now. I was born and raised in a beach tourist area, and this is where I'm at right now as well. But when I was a kid, I had just turned 14. My grandmother, she had 2 condos at Pinnacle Port, which is a condo complex that's still there. We lived alongside of the likes of Barbara Eden. My grandmother was friends with Barbara Eden when she was there. And I actually got to sit in the lap of Barbara Eden because she loved us 3 boys, me and my 2 uncles. So, that's really cool memories. And also, it's not like I hate the beach or I hate this area or anything like that. Just, I'm not going in the water. But when I was 14, we were sand dollaring, which you do at about chest length, chest depth. And I suddenly felt something strange. It was a strange sensation I had never felt before, for sure. And all I knew was I need to get to shore. So I left them. It was my grandmother and my 2 uncles, and we were out there sand dollaring when I just suddenly broke away from them and started going to the shore. Now, by the time I did get to the shore and came out of the water, it was very clear what was wrong, and that was a very large jellyfish had gotten tangled up and wrapped itself around my knee and my calf, and I guess its tentacles got tangled up, but whatever. So when I got to the shore, that sensation I became very aware of what that sensation was, and it was a kind of pain that I have never experienced before or since. And so I fell down on the ground, and all these people, they start running, the tourists and all, they start running. They see this jellyfish wrapped around my leg. They run and get help. The pool boy comes, the maintenance guy comes. One of them comes with a big bucket of pool chlorine that you pour in the pool, and the other came with a big metal stick and all, and they got it off my leg. They called the ambulance and all that kind of stuff. And by the time the ambulance got there, my leg was like 3 times its size that it was when I went out into the water. So that's my little water horror story, and I have never ever been back in the beach in the water since. I'll go to the beach and sit there all day, but I'm not getting in the water. Now, since I just turned 14, it was probably like 6 months later. Everybody kind of knows that story that knows me, is that's when I discovered horror. So probably by the time that I was 15, I saw Jaws, rented Jaws. So between those two incidents, I developed a very big complex, and that is that I won't go into the water. I'm serious about that. Tom Cruise could like come and ask me, like, to be star in the next movie with him, and all I have to do is scuba dive with him in the kiddie pool side of a reef somewhere, and I would just be like, I'm sorry, can't help you, man. And even if he tried to sweeten the offer, it's like, hey, man, I tell you what, you can be in full scuba gear with a fucking harpoon, and I will scuba naked. I would still be like, I still can't help you, dude. I'm just sorry. I'm not going into water. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not going into water. I'll go into a lake. I'll go into a creek. I'll go anywhere, but I will not go into the ocean. That's just it. Now, what all that means is that I get a lot more jump scares, and it's a lot easier for a shark movie to entertain me, because I love them because they scare me so bad. So you barely have to do anything in a shark movie. I mean, a fish can splash and I'm going to jump in the chair. I'm just that nervous watching a shark movie. So some of these movies, a lot of people like me, but it's not as good as he's making it out to be. Well, I have to give it credit for scaring the shit out of me, even if that scare comes from my own personal complex. So that's just it. So, the Reef Stalked, it's kind of mediocre, but it was all right enough for me to watch. And I did jump and yell a couple of times, and there was one particular one in which I really kind of nearly came out my chair. But the Reef Stalked is about a dive club. It's 4 girls, Nick and Jody and Annie and Kathy, and Nick and Kathy are sisters. So they're in a dive club, and they go diving, and they get back, and we see this girl's boyfriend, Kathy's boyfriend. His name is Greg, and he, you can tell he's an asshole. You can tell that they don't like him, that her friends, and she does act a little timid around him, and with good reason, because later on that afternoon he murders her, he drowns her. He strangles and drowns her in the tub for her sister and all to have to come and find her. With him just sitting at the bar going, she made me do it, with scratches all over his face and stuff. It's pretty okay, whatever. So we spring forward to 9 months later, and the other 3 girls from the club have gotten her to meet them at a resort, and they are going to try to help her get back into things by doing an island hopping kayak trip. So they're going to just kayak from island to island and make a 3-day weekend of it. You stop at an island, you scuba dive and fish and skewer you some fish to eat, you camp out, and so that's their plan. They even bring her younger sister. What is her name? Annie. So they bring Annie with them, and she's kind of shocked because Annie's always been like a kind of slacker, and yet here she is wanting to go kayaking with them and stuff. So they set out on this trip to take this trip, and it doesn't take long. They stop at the first little island, and they are going to go scuba diving, and it's not long before the shark comes around. So I think no, it's Annie that gets killed, right? Yeah. So I just can't remember the sister's name. But so Kathy's dead. This one, she gets like brutally killed right in front of them, and that sets up the tone of this movie. So now you have these girls trying to get to the next island, and you're very clear that this shark is following them. And this is not like a typical shark. He didn't kill that girl and then go away. Instead, he is really just like playing with them, and he's stalking them. And so you have all of this really moody stuff. They do manage to get to this second island. However, this island isn't inhabited either. There's only two women, two of the kids, and the husbands are out fishing. And so there's a lot of really heavy action there. One of the little girls gets bit, and Jody rescues her, and they have to treat her on this island, and there's nothing that they can do. Like, there's no reception, there's no Bitey, there's no way to contact anyone, there's no Wi-Fi. So their only choice is to try to move on to the next island, where they can not only get help for this girl who has nearly had her leg bitten off, but help for themselves because one of their friends has been mauled to death. So you have a lot of interpersonal, stuff going on. The shark action is pretty good. The stalking action, it does have a little bit of tension. Now, the way they try to get to this island is that the only thing on this island with these two women and those two kids is a little runabout boat, just a little small boat with a small engine, outboard motor. So they actually, which is actually kind of neat, they actually tie two of the kayaks to both sides of the boat, because that boat's not much bigger than the kayaks, right? To make it a bigger target for the shark. And then they set out to try to get to this other island. Now, we have a lot more activity as they try to get to this. There's lots of near misses. There's lots of shark attacks of them trying to get it. We even see Jody get horribly killed. And the one scene that made me scream the worst was because that shark came out of nowhere and came at the side of the boat, and I really didn't even see it coming. And so it came so split second fast that I actually thought I was going to have to stop the movie a minute, to hold on, am I okay? Let me check my heart rate. I think it came close to inducing a panic attack, but not quite. I know I'll be all right. I can continue to watch. But so that one got me really good. They do manage, after all of this, pretty good shark attack. The shark looked good. I think maybe some of it was CGI and some of it was real footage. But they did manage to get to the island. Pretty harrowing, as you would imagine. A survival movie. And then the movie ends when her and her sister make it to the island. And you see them contact the little girl on FaceTime, so the little girl got it. They managed to get help, and that's the movie. That's how the movie ends. So I was pretty disappointed in the movie, despite me knowing what people have said about it. I only gave it a 6.2, which is out of 10, which is really low for me. Because we are talking about movies that I actually bought and are in my collection. And I don't really make errors where I buy bombs. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not calling this a bomb or anything. I don't hate this movie. I just found it very mediocre. Very, there just wasn't enough action. And that's the complaint that I've heard about a lot of the newer shark movies. And us shark movie fans, we go into these movies expecting bait and Shark Night and Jaws and Deep Blue Sea and Open Water, because I am an absolute fanatic for all of them. And so this drought of shark movies, and then what few there are, being so, and it took me a while to try to figure out, like, what is the problem with these movies? Well, one, they're not showing enough shark action, and two, they're adding too much interpersonal stuff in it, which is a complaint about another one that I'm going to do. It just doesn't belong in shark movies. These movies that have been released recently. Now, I haven't seen The Black Demon, but I've heard the same kind of complaints about The Black Demon. You don't see the shark very much. It's not a lot of action. There's more drama to it than shark action, and that's a problem with this this subgenre. If you're going to come these days and try to make a good shark movie, you need to make it like the Open Water series. You need to make it like Deep Blue Sea series. But regardless of what you think of the others, those movies are all fantastic to me. So, yeah, I only gave it a 6.2. It's not exactly what I would call, super thrilling. But it does have some good action in it. I did care about this interpersonal stuff that they're talking. I didn't have any problem with them as people. And the dynamics of their relationships, and, like her wanting to know why the little sister has come along. You're just trying to replace Kathy in our lives because you were never really like this. Oh no, you took off and spazzed out when she died, and we had to bury her without you. You see what I'm saying? So there's plenty of the drama and the interpersonal, but that's not really why you come to a shark movie. And I think that's the failing of these movies, is that people come to a shark movie to see shark bait, because I'll tell you right now, shark bait, I'm so sad that movie is not available on Blu-ray. You can only get it on DVD. But I'll tell you right now, shark bait is like the best shark movie that's been released in like the last 8, 9, 10 years. That movie is just phenomenal. It's a A+ shark movie, And so yeah, we sit around waiting for that. We want some of that. We don't want Arkansas State Women's Prison shark massacre. And we don't want this, little bit of shark, whole lot of drama. That's not really, none of those movies have that kind of stuff in it. It's only surface level, no pun intended. The drama, the romance, relationships, stuff like that. It's there, but it's surface level, and it's not like what a shark movie is about. I haven't seen The Black Demon, like I said. I would get it probably if I found it at a reasonable price, but in the reviews and all, that's the same kind of stuff I've heard about this. And unfortunately, it's the same kind of stuff I have to say about this one. It, of course, is nothing compared to the original, but it's decent. It's a decent shark movie. I did have fun watching it. I did watch it all the way to the end. I am glad I had it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought it, There's a one called Maneater, and there's one called Something in the Water that I keep trying to find, but neither one of them have releases that I can get a hold of. So yeah, there's a big drought in shark movies, and I had to choose the ones that were at least fun enough to buy. And so yeah, it's only 6.2 out of 10, but it's a decent shark movie. The shark action is good, there just wasn't enough of it. The shark itself is good, but again, there wasn't enough of it. So yeah, that is the Reef Stalked. Let me know what you thought about it. Do you have it? Do you want it? Do you not want it? Did you see it somewhere else? But I just really needed some shark movies, and it's the only thing that was there. You know, I had to pick and choose from a very small options. You know what I mean? And of those options, at least these are watchable and good and fun after the, in an acceptably way to buy them. So, yeah. The Reef Stalked, 6.2 out of 10. It could have been so much better if you'd have removed a lot of the yucky and instead had some shark teeth in it. That's it, man. You need to put some teeth into these movies. But yeah, so I'll see you in the next one. Like I said, I'm doing this little festival, and we'll kick it out and move on to the next one. Love you, miss you, bye. Always remember, never forget, you're a very, very special person, even if you hate going in the water. And I will see you in the next thing I do. Bye-bye.